Hey everybody, mel0n here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be unboxing yet another brand new product from xraypad. They have been cooking up a crazy amount of stuff this year, and today we're going to be looking at the xraypad X SkyPad collaboration, the xraypad Obsidian Pro Universal Mouse Skates. Huge thank you to xraypad for sending these over for review. I greatly appreciate it. Now, as I just said, this is a collaboration between SkyPad and xraypad to make a special version of the Obsidian dots for use on glass pads, specifically the SkyPad 3.0. Now, to be completely honest with you, these pro versions of the Obsidian dots kind of caught me off guard because the already existing versions of the xraypad Obsidian dots already performed really well on glass. With their hardened PTFE nature, they were very resistant to wear from higher friction surfaces like glass pads, and they already had really good performance on glass. The only notable complaint I had a lot of people say with them is that they were very loud. So I'm interested to see what has actually changed with these pro versions of the Obsidian skates. So let's go ahead and unbox these and see what xraypad and SkyPad cooked up with their little collaboration with the xraypad Obsidian Pros. Alright, now in terms of product information, you can buy the xraypad Obsidian Pros for around $15 USD. As we've seen with a lot of X-ray products, they are often on sale, and there's no different here with the Obsidian Pros. So you can find these on sale for around $11.99 USD. Now, $11.99 USD is the starting price for their regular set of skates, so they definitely are on the higher side. We'll have to see if the performance justifies the higher price, or SkyPad tax as I like to call it. Now, as I mentioned before, these skates are designed to be used specifically with the SkyPad 3.0. However, they are still usable with cloth pads as per the original Obsidian dots. So I'm very interested to see how these actually perform on cloth pads and other higher friction glass pads, because again, the original Obsidian dots already performed really well across the board on pretty much everything. So I'm wondering if the changes with the Obsidian Pros have maybe negatively impacted performance on other pads. So that'll be something interesting to take a look at when I do my full review. In terms of the unboxing experience, it's pretty similar to what we saw with the previous X-ray pads. You have included a set of 40 dot skates, 2 alcohol removal wipes, and 2 adhesive removal wipes. The actual packaging design has changed. There's just some different decals on it and the SkyPad logo, but everything else is essentially exactly the same. And like we've seen on all the previous X-ray pad skates, there is a protective film over the new Obsidian Pros, which is nice to see just to prevent them from being scratched or damaged during shipping. Now, one of the biggest differences between the original Obsidians and the Obsidian's Pros is what they're made of. Now, the original Obsidian skates were made out of hardened and processed PTFE, whereas the Obsidian Pros are made out of something called uhmw-pe, which is an ultra-high molecular weight polyurethane resin that is created through a special chemical process. Now, one of the major benefits of this new resin material these skates are made up of is it's going to allow these skates to have a lot more of an extended life. Now, the Obsidians already had a really good lifespan. They were very, very durable, and having these ones be supposedly even more durable seems almost kind of insane because the Obsidians are pretty much immortal, and having a newer resin being made for the Obsidian Pros makes these seem like these are going to last forever. So I'll have to do a lot of testing in terms of how long these skates are actually going to last, specifically using them on much higher friction glass surfaces, but we'll have to see how they hold out for the full review. This new material is also supposed to make these skates a little more balanced in terms of speed and control, and most importantly, one of the other benefits is that it's supposedly going to make a difference in the audible feedback from the skates, so there won't be that scratching noise that happens with the regular Obsidians. Apparently that is not going to be nearly as bad or pronounced on the Obsidian Pros. Now, while the material composition of the Obsidian Pros has changed quite a bit, one thing that has not changed is the actual sizing of these skates. So these are still going to be the standard 0.8mm rounded PTFE dot skates. They are not making any kind of full-size skate as of recording this video. They may make them in the future, but as of right now, it is only dot skates. Maybe in the future, it'd be nice to see them make donut skates like the Obsidian NJ Donuts, but for now, it is just going to be dots. Now, in terms of how the Obsidian Pros actually perform, I did a couple runs on Kovacs and compared them to the original Obsidian dots, and there is actually a notable difference in a couple things with these new skates, which I'm actually very happy to see. The biggest thing that is going to be noticeable is going to be the audio feedback. There is a massive difference in the feedback in the noise on higher friction pads and glass pads between the regular Obsidians and the Obsidian's Pros, which is really nice to see. The skates do also feel a little bit smoother. Sometimes the original Obsidian dots could feel a little scratchy at sometimes, but these ones seem to be a little smoother, which is nice to see. Overall, they actually feel quite good. I really don't have any complaints about them. I will say though that the actual performance is very, very close. The biggest difference is going to be the audio feedback, but the actual performance is very, very, very close. So I'm not sure if it's just like placebo because I was using a different mouse on the Obsidian dots as opposed to the Obsidian Pros. Maybe there's some other factors at play here. So I'll have to do a lot more of an in-depth dive on these for the full review and test them with a bunch of different mice on a bunch of different higher friction pads. But as of right now, the biggest thing is going to be the audio changes, which in my opinion is a great change. And as I mentioned before, I'm also really interested to see if these changes and this new resin material is going to negatively impact the performance on plastic and regular fabric pads as well. Because again, the original Obsidian dots worked really well on everything, and I'd be interested to see if the Obsidian Pros can still do the exact same thing while having improved performance on glass. Alrighty, well that is pretty much everything I have to say about the xraypad X SkyPad Obsidian Pro dot skates. So far so good. Again, the biggest difference right now is going to be the audio feedback, which is again probably the biggest complaint I know a lot of people had. I know Mrs. mel0n, who has been using my IKEA glass with the Obsidians, has been complaining about the noise, so I'm probably going to end up putting these Obsidian Pros on her mouse and see if there's going to be any changes on her side. But so far from what I can feel, the biggest difference is audio. There is a minor difference in the performance, but again that could be placebo, but I'll have to do a much more deep dive on how these skates perform for the full review. So be sure to get subscribed so you don't miss that, and if you aren't already following me on socials like X, Instagram, and TikTok, be sure to go drop me a follow there. I'll be making little update videos during my review process on how things are going, and if I find anything really cool that I want to talk about, I'll be sure to make a little update video there. But that's all from me for now. Thank you again to xraypad for sending these out for me to take a look at, and I will catch you guys in the full review of the Obsidian Pros in a couple weeks once I've done some more testing. Peace.